Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hello there, I'm JP Murray. Welcome to episode 99 of the Push to Pass podcast. Today we're diving into the world of motorsports partnerships. In episode 98, I covered how I got into the business of sports marketing and launched JP Murray Racing. And now I'm going to break down additional observations and how to take the first steps of launching a new business in motorsports. But if you are not in racing, the process, I believe, will also help in most sales and marketing environments. So let's get started. First, I want to talk to you about some of the challenges in the racing industry, and you should ID some of the barriers in whatever space and vertical you work in. The one thing I learned was the landscape of motorsports partnerships is very opaque. There is a lack of transparency in the industry regarding sponsorships. Not a lot of discussion around what the standards are in terms of how long a contract, the value proposition that you might see. And this can really affect some of the newcomers in the space. So what I would encourage you to do is build some trusted networks in the industry of people that are willing to share. Develop your own information channels. I do a lot of Google searches around motorsports partnerships, and I just try to really embed myself in the space and learn more about it. My guess is at some time in your motorsports career, you're going to run into someone that was not very truthful. They sign a deal, they don't pay. To minimize the vulnerability of this, go through a thorough vetting process for all of your partners. Get some clear contractual language around payment. I would very much recommend that you have all the payments wired to you in advance for anything getting activated. And I would encourage you to have at least 50% of your sponsorship paid up front before you deliver any value, before a logo goes onto a car, before a livery is designed. I've been burned and I don't want you to be burned. The next thing is that you're going to have to overcome negative perception in motorsports with sales and marketing professionals. You're going to hear this. Hey man, thanks for calling. We tried motorsports partnerships and it just didn't work and we ended up wasting a lot of money. You've got to make sure that you're educating and informing potential partners about what sponsorship success looks like. For example, how about discussing the marketing goals and the business growth that the company has first? I got news for you. No one wants to sponsor a race car. Many drivers and teams are frankly seeking contributions to underwrite their costs. And if you're relying on that to fund your racing program long term, I have the most prayers for you, but I'm not very hopeful that they will be answered. So I want you to focus on ROI, identifying the outcomes that sponsor wants. Are they seeking conversions of new business? Do they want amplified social media opportunities? Do they want you to introduce them to other players in the industry and other sponsors? Get really clear about what those expectations are. Do you have successful programs that you've done before and you executed? Make sure you've got those case studies in place to, again, inform and educate the potential sponsor. And then make sure of this. Since you had that great conversation, ensure that every single proposal that you ever put out is tailored and customized for that sponsor. We can get into the trap of just blasting out proposals with people that have never shown any interest in us, and we have no idea if it addresses their needs and concerns as a company. The next thing I want to chat about, the multifaceted nature of successful sponsorships. They may think racing is about a logo on a car. You need to break down these elements. Not only car branding, but social media engagement, driver appearances, broadcast television exposure, hospitality opportunities. You got an amplification for the client through the race team, the driver, and the series. They're all going to be promoting new sponsors and doing it through social media. Every time a new sponsor drops, the industry press pick it up, and in many cases, the industry press for the sponsor picks up that new partnership announcements. This amplification is unbelievable, and I want you to make the case that very few advertising mediums can perform like this. Then the next thing I'm thinking about is developing a true sales infrastructure. Now, this is difficult because I know you're racers or you're business people at first and not sales and marketers first. So you either need to hire somebody or carve out the time away from the racetrack to sell. You may want people just to call and support you. And like I said, that's great. You're one lucky person if that happens. But let's assume the big funder isn't picking up the phone and calling you directly. So what do? Build a social media profile and gain some numbers. Folks, everybody wants social media engagement. Do not forget LinkedIn. Here's why. It's a fantastic platform for businesses. That's where social media is happening in the business community. That's where your sponsors are playing. Very few racers that I've seen optimize LinkedIn as an opportunity, but that's where the sponsors live, and I want to hang out where they are. Next, develop an email list or start to develop one. Ask people on social media if they would like to join your email newsletter so you can stay in touch with fans. Make sure that you're getting email addresses for merchandise sales. Folks that have visited you at the track, communicate with them about your schedule, personal appearances, special offers you might have for merchandise. I want to start a two-way conversations with people directly, and believe it or not, email is still a way to do that. I want you to think about it this way. Every person that engages with you is a potential business lead. A lead for merch sales, a lead for sponsorships, or a person that may repost your content that a sponsor might see. Then we start selling a little bit. I'd use that email list and develop an email requesting an opportunity to learn about their marketing goals and if we can help them. I would use MailChimp or a similar free platform to distribute that email. Because what you want to do then is you want to monitor the opens, people that open and click on your information. Those are the folks that you call first. They've shown that they're interested in what you have to offer. I'd start repeating this on a monthly basis. And keep in mind that your timing for this effort is important. As I record this episode, we're starting the 2025 season campaign. Companies want the time to get in front of a new relationship. Your job is to lower the anxiety and basically fear that may keep a marketing executive from joining you in motorsports or in your business, right? People don't want to make mistakes and they don't want to get fired for their mistakes. And for some, a new platform or a new series like racing might be a little bit risky for them. Through your education, through your content, through your email newsletter, you're building awareness and you're lowering their anxiety about motorsports as an option for them. And what I think may be the best option for marketers to grow their company. You got to make those prospects more comfortable by giving them more information and distributing that in a variety of different ways, whether it's through social or it's through direct emails or other phone calls and communications like that. I've got a unique kind of perspective. I want race teams to grow. I want all their sponsors to be successful. The reason is when that happens, people will overcome the bias that, oh, racing's just a waste of time. Oh, we wasted our money on that sport once before. I want everybody to be successful. Hey, folks, I can't wait to chat with you next week on the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray. See you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray. a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.